The moment is here, you can stop your search. It's Comics by Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. We got a mail here. What kind of idiots are running WotC today? And of course, WotC is Wizards of the Coast. I don't know. What kind of idiots are running WotC today? Let's find out. It says, hey Perch, is Wizards of the Coast, WotC, trying to ruin themselves on purpose? I don't know. Do a lot of people call it WotC? I know the Wizards of the Coast employees, because I knew several of them call it that. But I don't know. Back to the mail. It says, I know everyone likes to play armchair executive with multi-billion-dollar companies, but this goes beyond what could be considered reasonable. Back in November of 2022, WotC made news in the mainstream media when Bank of America called them out for diluting their Magic of the Gathering game and alienating longtime fans and collectors. A couple months later, WotC shit the bed by trying to strong-arm the tabletop gaming community with their disastrous OGL update that literally made their competition more powerful than they could ever imagine. And now even Critical Role is introducing their own gaming system to further distance themselves from D&D and WotC. Now most recently, Magic the Gathering, MTG, YouTuber, was accidentally sold the wrong merchandise and received cards that weren't supposed to be released yet. So what did WotC do? They hired perennial bad guys, the Pinkertons, to go to his house and threaten him and his wife with the possibility of up to 10 years in jail and fines of up to $200,000 if he didn't turn over the cards. And apparently WotC then contacted him and told them they'd send him some kind of replacement merchandise eventually. To say that the Magic the Gathering community is upset over this is a bit of an understatement. This is also happening as Disney is getting ready to launch a new trading card game, TCG Lorcana, that is getting a lot of buzz in the trading card game community for actually being good, and Disney has stated their intent is to unseat Magic the Gathering as a top trading card game. It's almost like WotC is being run into the ground on purpose. I'd love to hear your thoughts, as you have a good understanding of the business world and also have done business with WotC as a comic store owner. Well, thank you very much. And this article is amazing. If you haven't seen it, there's this crazy thing. So it is bizarre. So the YouTuber is old school MTG and got a hold of these unreleased cards. And basically his story is that he uploaded an unboxing video featuring these brand new cards. And he says he was sent them. He didn't steal them. But it got a ton of attention. Now, normally, if you're WotC or Magic the Gathering, this is good news because you're getting a lot of buzz for this new series. However, what happened was, and it rather than admit maybe those cards were sent out by mistake, or I have no idea what went on there, like how the guy got the cards. But one thing is abundantly clear. This old school MTG, who has a complete livelihood based on trading card games and Magic, did not go up to Renton, Washington, break into the Wizards of the Coast building and steal cards. Nor did he lurk in the bushes outside the company waiting for cards to fall out of a truck and then quickly squirrel them away to his house. It's entirely clear he got these cards somehow. Now, maybe somebody sent it to him that shouldn't have. I don't know. But regardless, they got there. And this video came out. And the video produced tons of hype for Magic the Gathering. So Wizards of the Coast turned around and hired Pinkerton. Now, Pinkerton's is a private security firm. And it is, they basically they were very famous several years ago for doing union busting. Basically, they would come in and threaten people that, they were going to, rumor goes, they're going to break their kneecaps if they, didn't get with the program. Pretty crazy. So, anyway, so these guys basically came to the house and shook the people down. This old school MTG basically said, my wife cried and it was a super ugly. Now Wizards of the Coast says, hey, we were trying to figure out the leak and how this guy got these cards. So we sent the Pinkertons to the house as part of an investigation. They claim that this isn't, they didn't send them after this guy. They said they were sending an investigation, but basically now what's happened is you have this person whose popularity has skyrocketed. Apparently, his channel has doubled since this event, and the letter writer is correct. The general feeling from the Magic the Gathering community, which not for nothing, this is a group of people that talk to each other and seem fairly tight knit, are pretty hardcore on the fuck Wizards of the Coast bandwagon, because it's just not good optics when you send some private security thugs over to make somebody's wife cry. Just like, no matter what side you're on, no matter how justified you are or whatever you think, it does not look good to strong arm a YouTuber with this kind of stuff, or anyone. So anyway, they look terrible. They look absolutely terrible. So that stuff's all going on. I think the one last thing, the Disney trading card game is likely to do pretty well. You're right; it is getting good buzz. Disney has a great. If they want to throw money behind something to unseat the incumbent, they will throw a lot of money. Disney is more than capable and happy. I don't know about happy, but comfortable losing money for 3 years. Very comfortable doing that. If they have to, they'll do it. Fine. Just to beat somebody out of the game. So I think it's the asking for bad press right now is dumb. I don't know what's the answer to this mail. Company seems dumb. I mean, in fairness, my perspective, and maybe I'm just jaded about these things. Company's always been pretty dumb. They've always kind of been dodgy. I mean, anybody who's known them, there's the kind of the sex scandals, there's the key parties, there's the drugs up in Vancouver. There's a long legacy of this company being shady as fuck. That is, it is exactly kind of the screwed up company that you probably would imagine, and that's been their rep for quite a long time. I don't know. I think it's hard to say. Like, is it incompetent management? But maybe the better way to put it is, because there is one consistent thread. It's Wizards of the Coast believing they are the powerhouse, they are the dominant ones, and therefore they can do what they want. And you see some of this behavior sometimes with Marvel, and you've seen it with comic shops back in the day when Marvel would send comic shops cease and desist letters for like having a picture of Spider-Man in their window that wasn't official approved Marvel merchandise. I mean, you saw that. When companies believe they are the top dog and they are king, they often abuse their power. They get to dictate, they believe they can dictate the rules. And I find it really curious that in particular, a lot of companies that build up a community, meaning they get like Wizards of the Coast or like Marvel or places where it's not like, Toyota sells cars. But there's Toyota drivers kind of killing, but there's not like a Toyota community of people who are exchanging fan fiction on what the next car could look like. I mean, it's not. There's community on the internet for everything, but it's not like that kind of community. But these entertainment communities, like Wizards of the Coast, like Marvel, there's other examples of things like Warhammer would maybe be another one. I mean, just these things that have a community behind them. The companies become pricks. It's like they believe they own those people. And it's just bizarre. It's I don't know if they resent the fact that there's a bunch of community activity that they don't control, but it's baffling to me. Absolutely baffling. But I think that's a lot of it. There's an ego. We're in charge. We dictate. We run things. You follow, and that's it. That's all. They're in control. So anyway, that's my answer. Is basically it's an arrogance, I think, and an arrogance that leads to stupidity. I mean, if you look at these moves from Wizards of the Coast, it's we can make these rules and you will submit and follow them. Somebody sent you the wrong cards. We're not accepting any blame. We're going to go shake down this guy and demand he return them. I mean, you look at this, and it's so easy to sit back and look at this company and go, well, the wrong cards got sent to this guy. What's the harm? Oh, you wanted to do your own big marketing and PR stuff? Well, now you get a bunch of PR and a bunch of attention, a bunch of people excited about your cards for free. You didn't have to spend $1 marketing. You got a bunch of people excited for your products. So wasn't the way you planned. You can still do your marketing campaign, but hell, take the W, you dumbass. Take the win. That's the part that, when companies are severely arrogant about their fan base that they get into. Anyway, I don't know. Why do you think they're dumb? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and thanks for listening.